Hi guys, how's it going? This is Amanda from Amanda Around the Globe, and today I'm really excited to talk about why I became a minimalist. So I've talked a lot about minimalism on my channel. I haven't ever talked about why I became a minimalist. So I want to kind of do like a before and after of my life so you guys can understand what minimalism has done for me and why I chose to live a minimalist lifestyle. Before I found minimalism, I was living in a small town and I was working at a 9-to-5 job. So a typical day in my life was I would wake up at 8 p.m. I would wake up at 8 a.m. and I'd get ready for work. I would make a smoothie and then I'd drive to work and I had to be at work by 9. I lived only about 5 minutes drive from my work, and then I'd work from 9 to 5. For my lunch break, I'd usually walk to Whole Foods with a friend of mine from work. I'd spend $10 there on lunch. I would go back to work until 5. After work, I would do one of two of the following things. Basically every single day I'd do one of these two things. First thing was I would go home, I would make dinner, and then I would watch YouTube for like 5 hours straight. That's it. Would do that, and then I'd go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night, do the same thing over the next day. If I didn't watch YouTube all night, I would go home, make dinner. Sometimes I'd go for a run after work. Then I would go out for drinks with friends. So I worked in the wine industry, and sometimes I'd go to a winery after work, or I'd go to a restaurant and catch up with a friend over a drink, or I'd get dinner with someone, or I'd go out to dinner with the guy that I was dating. That was pretty much my life. My weekends consisted of cleaning my house, doing laundry. I would go to Target almost every weekend. I would come to my parents' house and hang out with them. I would go to the mall. That's pretty much everything that I did. Sometimes I'd go for a hike, but not really often. So after I found minimalism, and I kind of reevaluated my life and what I wanted it to be like, I realized that there are so many things that I love that weren't part of my life. I love hiking, I love writing, I love photography, I love spending time with my family, and I love traveling. So I kind of remade my life. I feel like before minimalism was a different person. I don't even feel like the same person anymore. I kind of had the same job for a while after I went minimalist. When I went minimalist, I realized really quickly that I wanted to travel full time. And that was my goal. After I went minimalist, I obviously spent a lot of time decluttering. I had a lot of stuff, I had a lot of clothes, I had just a lot of random stuff that I never used, so I decluttered. That took me 2 to 3 weeks. So once I had more time, I would actually started riding my bike to work more. I really liked that. I found that I had a much better day when I rode my bike to work because I was getting like fresh air in the morning. Still go to Whole Foods every day at lunch, but I would buy one thing and I'd keep it under $5. So most days I would just buy a coconut water that was $1. I was still able to get that socializing in by walking with my friend. That was something that I really liked to do, so I kept doing that. And then after work, I would still get off 4:30 or 5. Sometimes I'd actually go into work a little bit earlier so that I could get off a little bit earlier, and I would go for a hike after work a lot of the times. Pretty shortly after I became a minimalist, I broke up with my partner that I was with during that time. I moved back to my parents' house, so I got to spend a lot more time with my parents, and I got to save a lot of money to go traveling. I would spend about 4 days out of the week at the office by my parents' house, and then on Tuesdays I would commute to the office that was like an hour away in the town that I had lived in before. When I was working close to my parents' house, I would just bring lunch because there's nothing around that place, and I would still walk with my coworkers every lunch break. We had a little walking group and we would hike the hill that's there. So then after work I'd go for a hike, maybe about 1 to 2 hours, depending on what time I got off. I'd come home, have dinner with my parents, catch up with them, and then I would research so much about traveling, how to travel on a budget, and the things that I would need to travel, and I looked up the places that I wanted to go. I just researched my heart out on budget travel and tried to figure out a way to be able to travel long term, and I made travel plans, and that's what I spent almost all of my free time doing, was learning about traveling and reading and just ingesting a whole bunch of information about travel hacking and traveling on a budget and all that stuff. Then I started traveling full time, and now I always feel like I'm bragging when I talk about my life because I just like do whatever I want most of the time. Like I really enjoy making YouTube videos. I really enjoy writing on my website. I'm actually writing for 2 different companies right now. I write a minimalism series, and on the other one write up a bit about their tours in Southeast Asia. So I feel very lucky to live my life the way I do, and I've visited 24 countries in the last 2 years now. I've been traveling for almost 2 years. I'm going to New Zealand in a few months, and I'll be living there for quite a while, and my life is just so much better now and so much happier. The reason I wanted to tell you guys this is because minimalism has changed my life so drastically, and I really believe that giving minimalism a chance and even just trying out some minimalism tendencies, like just decluttering a little bit and making space for finding out what you want and who you are and what you're passionate about, can really change your life. I had no idea the impact that minimalism would have on my life before I found minimalism, or even when I found minimalism. I just thought I was gonna declutter some stuff and like, hooray, maybe have a few extra hours a week, but it's so much more than that. So anyways, this video is getting really long, so I hope this video helps you in some way. Hopefully maybe it inspires you to try minimalism. I would like to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I love reading your comments. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching, bye!